Well, I wanted to give you a little update on pageant loss. I competed at Mrs. Classic Universe and I got first runner up, and this is what I came home with, which is Photogenic Award, which is nice, but not what we went for, right? So I wanted to talk to you guys about losing a pageant because every other coach talks about winning a pageant. But if you do pageants long enough, you're not gonna win them all. And there's many reasons for it. It could go anywhere from, well, let's just start with the first thing, the judging panel. So the judging panel can very easily have a completely different point of view of what they're looking for, and that maybe they want to make a statement of some kind, or maybe they're looking for someone to hit a certain heartstring, or maybe they want someone who has more experience than you. There could be 90 million things. Maybe they like what her platform is or her personal story. But I don't want you to stop competing because someone else won the pageant that you wanted. I want you to have resiliency, to be able to say to yourself, all right, starting over and moving on. Because if you can't do that in a pageant, you can't do that in life. So one thing about pageants that's very similar to life is life isn't always fair. And pageants are not always fair. And I have many clients who have done everything right. They showed up, they looked phenomenal, they had a great gown, they were prepared, and guess what? Still didn't win. So that doesn't mean they can't win. It doesn't mean that they weren't ready or anything else. If you are in the first runner-up, second runner-up spot, somewhere in there, you were ready. You were very ready. So just know that you've put in that work if you're that high up. If you're top 10, maybe there were some things you left undone. But as far as I'm concerned, if you've really taken great care to do everything right in your preparation for your pageant, you should be in the top 3 slots. That's my 5 cents, unless politics. That's another thing that could happen. Politics can happen. They can decide they want a different looking winner than you this year, because maybe they had a blonde last year, and so this year they want to have a brunette, or they want to do a redhead, or they want more diversity. It could be anything at all. Just don't take it personally, and don't feel like it's all for naught, and certainly do not throw in the towel and say, that's it, I'm never doing another pageant. Because I do think I have said that in the past, and of course, I'm still competing. So, my suggestion to you is to regroup, re-energize, and jump back in the game, especially if you're just hot off a pageant. You went to it and you felt like, I was ready, but this just wasn't my pageant system. I want you to look around at other pageant systems and see what could you immerse yourself in? What could you get excited about again? Take that very same wardrobe, that very same preparation, or change out the wardrobe, whatever you choose. But I like to kind of stick in a budget, right? So if you're going to jump into another pageant, make sure that it makes sense for your brand, for what you represent, and tweak for the system, because remember, every system is very different. So don't just go from one system with exactly this regimen and what you're going to wear and what you're going to say and what your platform is, jump into another system and think that's going to work equally as well. So you do have to really look at and know your system so that you're making the right choices, right? But I want you to also think for a minute about the things that were out of your control, because when you're at a pageant, you can only control your performance, you can control how you look, you can fix your hair if it wasn't done well by the person you hired or whatever it is. But you're in control of that, but there are elements that are out of your control. So once you're gone, once the pageant's over, my suggestions to you are a couple of things. Number 1, within 24 hours, write a post thanking all of your sponsors, everyone who helped you, and congratulating the winner. The second thing I want you to do is to just feel good about what you did and feel like you are a winner, no matter if you won this pageant or not. And then when you're recovered from your pageant hangover, whatever it might be, if it's emotional for you, that means it's kind of early in your pageant career, because I feel like I'm at the point in my pageant career where I've had enough wins and losses, and I know what can happen, that I don't take it as personally as I once did. I know that at one point it was like really devastating to me when I put in so much energy, but nowadays I'm kind of like, okay, moving on. So that's my suggestion to you, is to move in the direction of another system, something that makes sense. I personally don't like waiting too long. If you just are hot off a national competition, you were very close, jump into something else relatively soon, in my opinion, so you don't lose your steam. For me, I just don't want to like let a winter go by where I get out of shape and eat tons of pizza, pasta, and desserts and bread that my husband makes. So I felt like I need to jump in the game relatively quickly so that I can maintain and have a goal. That's more of a body thing for me for swimsuit competitions. But if you're not doing that, you could certainly wait longer. And of course, I have, age on my side. So I do want to make decisions relatively quickly because I'm not ready for senior USA. Well, not quite yet. Not quite yet. So that's my suggestion, Queens. I want you to recognize what you've done well. I want you to really look at yourself in photos and your stage performance, anything that you can see after your pageant. Watch it with an objective eye. Take a look. And just recognize that a pageant system's judges are absolutely crucial as to whether or not they are going to choose you. There are many more systems these days, I think, that are picking based on story rather than actual stage performance. And then there are other pageant systems that are really heavy on stage performance and wardrobe and beauty and less on the story. So make sure you're in the right system. If you're in a new system, that's a crapshoot. Just saying. It's a crapshoot because anything can happen because it is a new system and we don't know what their branding is, right? We don't know what the director's point of view is going to be. Of course, they'll take everyone's money and get you on stage, but what do they really want to reflect in their pageant system? You don't know. So if you're jumping into a brand new system that has absolutely no precedent at all, it is a bit of a risk. I'm going to throw that out at you, but I still think that you can take that. Just don't take the result personally because every pageant system has their branding. So I want you to find something that's right for you, that makes sense for you, and stay in the game. That's all I'm going to say is stay in the game. Don't give up because you really deserve to have your win and your time. And I believe that everyone out there does eventually find their own crown in their own time. So good luck, Queens, and go ahead and post below if you have any more ideas of what you'd like to hear from me. All right, bye. And I'm going to figure out how to end this video. That is for sure. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Bye.